Whew. All right, I'm back. After almost a year of not posting and disappearing from YouTube, Instagram, social media in general, I'm back. And the honest reason for that was I just really needed to take time to trade. And it's not because I quit trading, but it's just because I needed to fine tune it and really grow my strategy, find who I am without a camera in my face, right? Learning trading is hard enough, but with a camera in your face, an audience to post to every week, you can see how that can become unsustainable, right? So now, with the correct tools, resources, and time, I'm back. This is my full strategy. I hope you enjoyed the POV style. I'm going to be wearing my Meta glasses here. So let's get right into the video. Alright, and with that, let's get straight into the video, and I'll show you how I made almost $350 day trading today, still with a position running, because we want to hold our runners here, obviously make the most of our trades. So let's get right into the strategy. So, one mistake a lot of traders make, and something that everybody should do way more often, is start on the higher time frames. So we're going to start on the weekly, the daily, the 4 hour, any of our higher time frames to get a sense of our names and our overall trends, because our day trades are really dependent on the higher time frames. And big banks, they aren't looking at the 5 minute chart. They're looking at the daily, and then the intraday and day trading moves are coming off of this, right? So we're going to want to start in our weekly, daily, and 4 hour time frames. I have a watch list here for swing trading because sometimes I'm not even looking at the 5 minute chart and I'm just taking swing trades. But for my main strategy, I am looking at the 5 minute chart. But anyways, in the morning at around 9 o'clock, 8:45 is when my alarm set, so around 9 o'clock, 8:50, I'm going to be going over my swing trading watch list. And so this morning, I'll just show you what I was looking at. None of these setups here. And obviously we're aftermarket. It's 8 p.m. Market's closed. But so we're going to start on our weekly time frame. For is just support and resistance. I'm looking for flags. And then my only indicator I have up here is the EMA right there. I use VWAP on the 5 minute, but other than that, just the 10 EMA. So first on our watch list is, well, that's obviously my setups today, so let me switch those around. So first on our watch list is Tesla. And on the weekly time frame, we can obviously see that there's a flag here, right? So it's kind of bouncing around, but we've started to make this little uptrend here, right? So that, like that. There's an uptrend there. There's an obvious uptrend. And a lot of beginners and people who are in the trading space always say, oh, don't use trend lines, don't use support and resistance. And that's true for day trading and to use as your main strategy. But those ideas are still valid and do still apply to overall market structure. So all we're looking for on a higher time frame is basically these flags, support and resistance, whatever. So we see that we're trending upward, right? Then we create this smaller little channel here. And that's something that I'm watching today. If we get above this level to take trades, right? It's something that I'm watching. So that's instantly going to go into my setups for today. Walmart, you can already see I've taken trades on, because look right here. 2 strong down candles, little pullback. I took trades right here. Right there. Right? And they won because they were going with the overall market structure. So then on the 5 minute, made my entry, and boom, 150% on the options, which I'll get into later. So although Walmart today, since I already made the move, there's really nothing to look at, so no trades on Walmart. Next, Coinbase. We're in a simple channel here. already took some trades on Coinbase just with Bitcoin, swept this liquidity, tapped into this huge resistance, so I ended up taking a trade on this day right there. But anyways, that's not today. Nothing on MicroStrategy, nothing on Nvidia. Snow, we can already see we had this flag, broke out, took a trade on that day one, right? Super simple stuff. Nvidia, nothing. AMD, on the daily chart, we have a little flag here, although I chose not to take any trades on this day. But look, if we go to the 5-minute chart, the trades would have still worked out, right? We broke above this flag, break above pre-market high, we retest it, and then ride it up. Super simple. And on the weekly and daily chart, AMD was giving us bullish signs. This one was a little harder to spot, but still, I had it marked on my setups. At 8:45 a.m., I saw it. I chose not to take trades on it, but it was up there, and it would have worked. Microsoft, nothing. No clear flags or anything, daily or weekly. Same with Apple. Although I did take a trade a couple days ago. This flag here, super obvious. Took a trade there, took a trade there, and took a trade there. Right? Super simple stuff. And then on the weekly here, we have that. We have this flag, and then we have a break here. So this would have been valid too. Didn't mark it though, because I've already taken so many trades on Apple the past couple days. Nothing. Intel Corporation, we had this flag here, broke above. Could have taken trades there. I don't, just because Intel's not really coming in trade that much. And then here's my huge winner that I've still been holding, and that today I was watching mostly, which is Google. And that is because we have this huge run up here. We've had a flag. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 5, 6 down candles in a row. Then we get this break above the channel here. So now I'm like, today, I'm like, whoa, this is a good setup. I'm going to be looking for longs, obviously. Right? So at market open, we head to the 5-minute chart right here. And since this is a long setup, right, because on our weekly chart, this is a long setup, so we're only looking for longs, right? That makes sense. So we go to our 5-minute chart here. We have our pre-market high, just basic key levels. Previous day high, once again, basic key levels. Right here, since we're only looking for longs, I'm watching Tesla, Google, AMD, all of which would have worked perfectly for longs today. Just literally perfectly for longs today. Pretty amazing. Tesla here, pre-market high, didn't quite get the retest, but could have found an entry in there on this pullback or whatnot. And I did. I took a small $50 trade, got in right there, stop loss below the right at pre-market high. And then I ended up getting about here, which obviously it's kind of a mistake, but can't really look in hindsight. Obviously the strategy worked, and I caught this move on Google, so can't be mad about that. But anyways, back to Google. So we see here that we break above pre-market high key level, come back down, retest it, create just a little flag here, right? We can see that. Let me change the color of that. That's hard to see. Right there, little flag. Break above it, longs, stop loss right below there, right? So flags are coming into play. It's not our main entry point, but it's just something to get an entry off of, right? Same thing with Tesla. If it doesn't always retest, we have a little pullback here. You enter, why not? Right? So Google, we have our flag here. Break above. And then I'm still holding this. The options I bought are, it's July 6th now. I think I bought 24th options, so that gives me about 18 days, 3 weeks for this trade to play out. But obviously the day trade worked. So I bought 2 contracts for about $3 each. So that's $600 in contracts here. right here. I'm in the trade. I took one contract out right here. Secured about $170, $75 in profit right there. And then I'm just holding this runner overnight. Because eventually, right, on the weekly chart, we still have so much potential to push up even to 400. My strike price is 380. So we still have a long way to go. So I'm just going to really ride this contract out. I'm up about 170 again in this contract as well. So, and that's just the little move I caught. 170 times 2, 3, 4, 5. When you get up here, that starts becoming thousands of dollars when you hold your runners. Right? So overall, super simple. I'll just go over it one more time. And this is literally today. These are not cherry-picked examples. This is today. Right? We're going to start on our weekly chart. And we're going to look for a flag like we had here. Flag. Right? We're going to look for a point of resistance. Oops. We're going to look for a point of resistance right there, right? Retest off of it. Break above the flag. So we're looking for longs. It's as simple as that. Let's get on to the 5-minute chart. Mark your pre-market high. Previous day high. Any high. Any key level. Break and retest. Pull back. Enter. Hold the trade. And stop loss below recent low. So now that we have the strategy down, let's get into entries and exits of this strategy. Now the key with this strategy is to always be trimming. There's no set stop loss where to put it. There's no set risk to reward. There's even no set place to get out, right? But this trade, for example, had a 6.5 risk to reward trade, and all I did was target 1%, right? What did I say? I ended up getting around here, 0.8%, almost 1% move of the stock, right? Well, I kept my stop loss super tight here and just put it below this flag we entered on, right? Because we broke above it, created this little pullback, entered there, and stop loss below there. Super simple. Or a close back below pre-market low. Basically anything that invalidates your trade, right? Anything that invalidates your trade is going to be our signal to get out. Now, in terms of taking profits and getting out in that way, since we're choosing our stocks based off of swing trade setups, we're obviously going to want to be able to hold the swing trade if we want to, right? Some of these don't even have to be day trades because you don't have to get in and out within a day. You are allowed to hold it. And you can hold it just to different key levels. Like one that I usually use for day trading is to just hold to 1% of the stock move, right? So if the stock does 1%, to get out at 1% from where you were. So 363, 1% of that's 3.6. So you add 3.6 to that, and then you get 366, right? Super simple. So you could target 1%. You can target key levels. Now, you don't want to target key levels this close because obviously they're going to run, they're going to be swing trades. So you really wouldn't want to target a key level like a previous day high. That would be super close. Now, if the previous day high was like Tesla, for example, on this swing trade, and the previous day high was all the way up here, and you wanted to target that for a swing trade, that's a completely valid target and you would still be in this trade. Or you could go here and target 1% like I did, right? That's why I got out so early on this one, because 1%, right? So, because 1% is different for each stock, because one can be more volatile than the other. So that's why trailing your stop loss is also super important. And so as the stock runs, you want to be moving your stop loss with it, right? When it breaks above here, you want to move it to that low. When it breaks above here, you want to move it to that low, right? when it breaks above here, you want to move it to that level, so then you'd get out right here. If I was actively managing and trailing my stop loss. Unfortunately, I was away from my computer, but that's how it's going to be sometimes, right? So that would have been the trade if you're trailing your stop loss. So overall, super simple strategy. I have a link in my description for the free strategy outline. Everybody on YouTube is just offering mentorships, paid courses, but if they're really successful and they're really doing it, they should just offer it for free. So down below, free, fully created, interactive plan, strategy. You can download it, open it in your browser, and yeah, just get better at trading for free. That's the way it should be. That's the way I would have wanted it when I was learning to trade, and so that's the way I'm going to do it. Also, if you enjoyed this POV style of teaching, right, got the meta glasses on, feel free to subscribe, drop a like, and yeah, there's going to be a lot of better content in the future, obviously, whether it's strategy videos, weekday processes in the life, what am I doing, more in-depth live trading, everything like that. So, yeah, see you next time.